If you run with live weather today, it's a little dicey.
Yeah, I've put it on broken cloud instead. Okay, live stream is running. Content.
Evening, guys.
Evening, Lee. How you doing?
Yeah, good. John, listen, how do I update the transmitter with that new URL?
Hang on a second. Is there an update for it?
Well, I can't see anybody, and I've not made any changes for ages on this.
Oh, the URL. It's the URL is changed in
Okay.
little nav map, which I've already got running. Tools, options, in the online flying bit. You know, in the settings, in the options of little nav map. I'll post the link in the event, actually. We haven't got a link for the event. He hasn't made one, has he? Let's go make one. New post. 2023. Nearly got the date wrong. Tacoma to Pit Meadows, isn't it? If you haven't changed your server, what's it called? The transmitter server in Little Navmap. It should be that, and also I'll go and listen here, airfields for the flight. Post that. Also, in case anybody wants it, I've got the flight plan. So that's in the events channel. There's now a topic on the Tacoma to Pit Meadows group flight, and in there's a note about the Little Navmap server.
Brilliant. Thanks, John. I'll nip in there and just get that changed. Thanks, mate.
Get to that. Okay. Looking good. Would help if I set my controllers up before the flight. Oh, it's already done. Go back, resume. Evening.
Yeah, that's got it. Thanks for your help, John. Cheers, mate.
Cool, brilliant. Right. I'm going to take off and circle the airfield while we're waiting for people to arrive.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hi Bert, how you doing?
Bye.
Hello.
Oh, oh, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
I can hear you.
Sorry, guys, just went really quiet. I thought, have I lost them?
This twin otter is remarkably stable. I just banked it over when I took off, and it's flying the circles around the airfield all on its own.
I bought the Cessna 414 after watching one of your videos, John. It's cool.
It's very good, isn't it?
Yeah, really cool.
It sounds amazing as well.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Don't do no more videos, John. You're costing me a fortune.
Well, there's no aeroplanes coming out at the moment, so I'm having to go backwards and actually learn things like, you know, how the Garmin units work and things like that.
Yeah, it's good if you haven't flown something for a little while and you go revisit it.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to remember everything exactly.
It's funny because you've got a leg up because you've flown in the real world. You kind of know procedures and stuff, and I have to go and look them up.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't know that you hadn't flown in the real world, to be honest, John. Don't be shy. You haven't gone to Toby Eye Tracker yet, then? John?
Not yet. I've been thinking about it because, yeah. Well, the real reason isn't flight sim. The real reason is for DCS.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to dogfight without some sort of tracking device. You know, and a decent one.
Yeah. Yeah. I must admit, I'm still getting used to it, but yeah, I'm doing that. I'm getting used to it. The more I use it, the more I like it, and the more I'm getting used to it. But at first, it was a bit weird, and it gave me a headache, and I was all over the place with the settings. But yeah, it's cool. It's pretty good.
Approach, seeing them up here.
Good evening, good morning everybody. Mic check please.
We can hear you, Alice. Loud and clear.
I've just driven 25k over the speed limit to get here on time. I've been up to Batch, you see. I said to my wife, I'm going to do the flight, goodbye.
I had a little rehearsal here a few hours ago, and I had the photogrammetry on, and it was absolutely fantastic. The scenery was beautiful, but my frame rate crashed terribly, and it became quite unusable. And I wonder whether is it a fault of my internet connection or the servers, or is it a fault of my graphics card? And I've had to turn it off. I mean, photogrammetry is so wonderful, but it's quite unusable because it just slows the frame rate so much. I mean, does anyone with a fast internet connection find that it's better?
I never have a problem with it, but then I went to fibre, so that kind of solved all internet problems.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Actually, saying that, it wasn't just having fibre to the house that fixed it. We paid a lot more than we ever have before for a wireless router. So we've got one of these mesh routers, and we got a good one, instead of buying like the cheapest thing from TP-Link, which we had done in the past.
Yeah, interesting. Well, if they'll fit fibre to my house, I'll have it, but they won't at the moment.
Dave, just to let you know, I had fibre fitted here in West Wickham, and my speeds, although they were so much better than what I was getting before, we had them back to test it, and all they guarantee is that you get the highest speed coming into the house. It all depends how your Wi-Fi and your layout and the building structure and stuff like that as to what kind of speed you get.
That's why we got these mesh networking nodes. Because we've
So
had
if they
nightmares.
advertise 700 megabytes per second and you don't get it and you're only getting 180, 200, I'm sure that's a big improvement on what you're already getting, but you will not always get what they say. And that's because, as I say, it all depends on your setup, but they do guarantee the speed coming into the house.
Well, everyone, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fastest I can get at the moment into the house is 45 megabytes a second.
Dave, that's roughly what I was getting. Now I'm getting, well, I've just done a speed test in my room up here and I'm in the top of the house, not the best place. I'm getting 180.
Wow, and do you find you have a problem with photogrammetry?
Yeah, sometimes it's really good and other times it's not. I think sometimes it's their servers, not so much the internet connection.
Agree, I get 175 and I'm next door to the exchange, and certainly London can vary from one day to the next.
But it is a big improvement, I must admit.
Well, I'll
down
get it
here-
as soon as I can.
Down here in little old NZ, they're running around and they put the fibre in everywhere for free. Even way down where I live out in the extremes, I don't have any of the problems I hear you guys talking about.
Is everybody up in the air already?
I'm just circling the airfield. The actual host of our flight hasn't turned up yet, has he?
Give him a call, John.
Do you reckon he's fallen asleep in front of the telly?
Yeah, few too many wines.
What's the time? Just coming up to the hour, aren't we? We'll give him 5 minutes. See a whole gang of you assembling on the apron down there.
Good evening, folks. Bill 258 checking in.
Evening.
Evening.
Good evening.
Is the Cessna 172 reality mod worth it?
I think possibly if you are training to fly a real Cessna. I had a play with it, and yes, you can mangle the Cessna up in all sorts of inventive ways by mismanaging the engine. You can do
that's
things
what
like the temperature shock and stuff like that to it.
I'm starting to very much enjoy the aircraft, like the 310R and the Wilga, and
Yep.
the Arrows that have the engine realism. So
I'm late.
Ah, here you are.
Here he is.
Just woke up.
No, I've had a job to boot a bloody computer up. Don't know why.
It's because you keep kicking it.
I found one thing wrong with it. I got no notepad. So whatever's gone wrong, whether it's Windows needs updoing, I don't know.
Maybe you've broken your finger.
Anyway, see if it crashes. I'm still booting up, so
Yeah, I'll give it a couple of minutes, don't worry.
Evening, guys.
Good evening.
Good evening. Are you flying on real weather or just
No.
picking random stuff?
Good luck.
I
Yeah,
couldn't see anything in the reel.
no. I've gone to Broken Cloud.
Okay.
that's what I've done. Turned it off. Can't see through the rain. Nearly as bad as it is in Cornwall.
We're in for a tropical cyclone down here for the next couple of days, so I know what I'll be doing.
Moving house involuntarily, yeah?
Just about. We've had some shockers. We've had one last week and we're getting one this week. About every 4 or 5 years we get this. You get 2 cyclones, one after the other. Do a lot of damage.
End up with a new garden every time, yeah? Or the neighbour's
Just
garden.
about.
Move
just
one
about.
house down, yeah.
What it does to the foreshore, that, you know, the big seas and that. Get a lot of slips on the roads over the hills and that.
Right, let's have a look at the route. So first leg is 137 degrees, 9 miles over to McCord Field. Can calibrate the altimeter, which I hadn't done yet. 137.
The scenery's fantastic. Fly at 0 feet. Or thereabouts.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening, Jonathan. Nice to talk to you rather than email you.
Yes. Yeah, it's the first group flight I've made it to in several weeks.
We've missed you.
It's just the usual mayhem of having a family and work and all the rest of it.
Well, down here we've got all our families coming one after the other for their summer holidays, you see, so we're in big demand. I had one of them, they had finished their turn at the holiday home, so they came and squatted in our place.
I see Pilot Lehmans is flying a C414 just like myself, so I'll pull up alongside him.
I've only had it a little while, Dave. It's really good. I'm really impressed. I'm loving it.
It is excellent. It's become my default plane now. It really has.
Yeah, it's really good.
And what's great is you can get the GTN 750s with it too, so it's so cool.
Absolutely, yeah.
In fact, you can get both types of GTN 750, whichever takes your fancy.
I see there's quite a few people are going out and buying touchscreens just to put the GTN 750 out on a touchscreen.
Yeah, I'll stick to VR.
I've got the
Yeah,
real
same.
SimGear one still in the box. I haven't got it out yet. The actual GTN 750 by real SimGear.
So those of you that have got VR, come on and own up. What's the most, or what's the funniest accident you've had with the headset on?
I check the watch all the time. I've actually looked at my wrist, and I can't see it, of course, but I'm looking for the time.
And up in the cockpit.
I was in one of the aircraft, got a dirty windscreen, and I tried to wipe it off.
Spilling food and drink is common, but I did punch her right in the face about 3 months ago. She got really close and I didn't know she was there, and I went to stretch out and socked her in the chin.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's very common to lean forward to look closely at the instruments and sort of headbutt.
Smack your head.
So, everybody on the ground, we've actually started. I'm just aware that there's a lot of people still down on the apron.
Right, we're off then, yeah?
Yeah, I'll circle at the next airfield. It's only just down the road.
First one's quite close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to fly the little Bulldog today. Quite like it.
The Bulldog's fantastic.
It's great. It's much better than the Chipmunk. The sound, I still can't take the sounds in that. That's awful. But the Bulldog is lovely little aircraft.
The only problem with it is it doesn't have an autopilot.
Oh, well, it's doing it. No, it's not. There's nothing on the screen, but with the Bravo, it's holding height and it's.
Yeah. They haven't removed the autopilot in the config file, basically.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I realise. Yeah, it does VS, vertical speed. It climbed up and down, and it did heading hold, and that's all I need.
Did you find the hotkey on the click spot on the dash to show the GPS?
No, not yet.
It's got a handheld GPS. There's a sticker left-hand side of the fascia. And if you click on it,
GPS.
Yeah.
Hey.
And you get a little handheld GPS.
Let me just make sure that my map's going to come up. Yeah, it even shows the flight plan. Perfect.
Could I get a mic check?
Yes, we can hear you.
Check. Sometimes I look around the cockpit for my VR goggles.
That's a good one. I like that. So I'm presuming McCord Field is a military base.
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
Joint base.
Joint
base.
There is a bug on that little. Unfortunately, I've got the GPS, Jonathan, but there's a bug on it. All the aircraft are moving, but the map's not moving underneath me. It's very weird.
On which map?
No, the little handheld GPS in the Bulldog. Weird.
Yeah, that is odd.
Must be something to do with the GTN 750 or that patch. I'll just use it as the AH.
Yeah.
Who needs maps? Not on a Sunday night.
Not when you have name tags, right?
I see what you mean about the scenery around here. It's really, really nicely rendered on the ground.
Knocking 7 bells out of my PC.
I can see a forest of nav lights coming towards me slowly.
Just gonna orbit for a few orbits for everybody to catch up. There's an awful lot of labels out there.
Actually, live weather is quite fun. Well, if you're an instrument pilot.
I was going to say, for a given value of fun. Okay, so the next leg is 20 miles, 5 degrees magnetic up to Seattle Tacoma International. So if anybody wants to play with ILS and real weather, go for it.
What do we think cruising feet? 2,000? 2,500?
I'm at 900. I ought to go a bit higher, I guess. I guess.
You think this land around here is photogrammetry?
Yeah.
Say so, because it looks too good, doesn't it?
It does.
It's very, very realistic, but it kills your computer. Or at least it does kill mine, anyway. I was getting 8 frames to the second earlier, which was just impossible.
When I was making this flight up, I just had to include Friday Harbour. Brought old memories back. Those unaware, in the early days of Microsoft Flight Sim, Friday Harbour was your default airport.
Yeah, that's right, it was. Yeah. FS6 it was.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why it was, because there's nothing special about it.
Probably one of the directors at Microsoft lived there.
Yeah, more than likely.
There's a lot of train cars in the photogrammetry.
Man, this is a busy airfield, and little nav map, all the blimmin' planes on the ground there. There's no room to park anywhere.
Oh, if you turn on the injection from, what's it called, FSLTL, the sky will just light up with aeroplanes.
You've got AI on. I just looked at this next airport.
What, Tacoma? Tacoma.
Yeah, there must be 100 AI planes there.
Yeah, a lot.
In fact, I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only about a dozen parking lots that not got nothing in it.
We're only doing touch and go anyway, so we're all right.
Yeah, but I was just saying how busy it is with this AI on.
What are we doing here? Left-hand circuit, runway 16. Take your pick.
Can do.
Yeah, sounds good.
Are you on your videos, Jonathan? Are you doing? Are you starting to rediscovering old
I could do.
Aircraft. I was just about to say, one of them you could try was, I just bought the Seneca because it was from Carinado cheap.
Yep.
It's absolutely fantastic.
It's been updated many, many times.
It's really good. It had a couple of issues with the GTN 530, 750, but that was to do with the working title.
Yep.
thing in the menu. So once that went, it went fine. What a great aircraft! Really impressive. A lot of fun. Sounds good. Performs well.
I've been thinking about pulling out the 530 mod because it breaks the GTN 750, doesn't it?
I think I've taken the working title one out of the Microsoft menu. Yeah, I have.
It's a shame because the updated 530 is really nice, but it causes problems for lots of third-party planes.
Okay. I tend to, if the 750 is available, I can't use the 530. It's too small.
It's very, very old technology as well now.
We get a move on and get on the other side of the airfield.
Oh, I can feel it starting to chug.
Yeah, I've turned the ground traffic off on my sim at the moment.
Oh, mine's off anyway, and it's
It's still chugging.
It's still chugging.
I think
I might just
might-
pop the clouds down to low.
I'm wondering if there's a group flight going on down there because I can see a lot of nav lights.
I've just leapfrogged a 737 on the runway and calls the guy at the other end to do a go around.
Yeah, I think that working title Garmin 530's messed up the stock Piper GPS.
Yeah, it's broken the GPS navigation on everything if you install it.
Well, I uninstalled it,
Yeah.
and it's still not behaving. So whether it's left something in there, I don't know.
I know Sim Update 11 broke the GPS navigation in lots of third-party aircraft. So if you go and tell it to fly on nav mode on the autopilot, it will typically just turn north.
Yeah, I'm seeing something like that. Yeah.
Just go and use heading mode instead. That's all I ever do. That's interesting. I told this not to put planes on the ground, and I've got static aeroplanes everywhere. I wonder if they're part of the scenery and not AI aircraft. Interesting.
So, which runway are we going in on?
16 was it that Ellis said?
16 left.
Which is coincidentally about the same frame rate you're going to get.
How spooky. That's exactly what I'm getting in 16.
Oh, you must be running a decent graphics card then.
3099.
I did an update following a YouTube video and it's made mine absolutely flawless.
Yeah, but they said that about the Titanic.
Yeah, but other than other things on the computer not working. But visually, the video I watched was really for VR headset, but it works doing it in the PC section as well. But it's not just the sim. There's about 4 different lots of things he did.
In those instructions, did one of them say delete notepad.exe?
No, it won't. If I tried to save a text file, it just won't have it. The pop-up comes up and says you can't find something or other. I don't know. I'll have a look tomorrow.
I can see a reinstall coming.
Yeah, I just froze it both.
Right then, heading north again.
Yeah, flying past Seattle at the moment with the photogrammetry off. There's just a load of cubes sticking up out of the ground, but with the photogrammetry on a few hours ago, that was fantastic. That's 6 frames a second.
I shouldn't laugh really, but that was quite a good delivery. So it's 347 degrees on the flight plan.
We're heading for Snohomish County now, and it's 2 stops to the coffee break, boys.
This airport's quite nice actually. Is it one of the premium ones?
Yeah, it's the main airport in Washington State.
Yeah. Some of them have had special attention, haven't they?
I've only got a 2070 graphics card. By God, the Seattle scenery is amazing. I'm only at 1,300 feet, but you can just about see the washing on the line.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular.
It's got nothing at all to do with Microsoft being headquartered here at all.
Nothing.
P&O cruise ship in the bay to my left.
If you have an add-on.
No, even if you don't, it's there.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, I can see it, yeah. There's a couple of them, isn't there?
They're not normally there, actually. Not the season.
P&O just because he's white, I don't really know.
Well, I need a 4090.
You need a big bank account.
Gonna say in a deep pocket.
Yeah.
Mind you, the good news on those is that the prices are falling. I've noticed that they've dropped £400 since the new year. I'm
Might
keeping
look
an eye
at
on
it
them.
in 6 months' time, yeah.
Dave, you're very faint.
They're radio towers. I've got 3 radio towers to my left.
You'd have to find those, wouldn't you, Dave? Do they look like a pylon?
Well, they're that shape, but about 4 times higher.
Yeah, I noticed them too. I'm just coming back to join the pack. I was galloping out in front of it.
Nah, photogrammetry's got to come off. I just 6, 7, 8 frames a second. It's alright inside the cockpit, but outside it's unusable.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, I found your mask, Dave. Yeah, they're quite spectacular, aren't they?
Yeah.
Looks like we can go straight in at the next airfield. It says all runways good for landing and takeoff. That's the little nav map.
Look at the map, see where we're going. North. 347, okay. Just took some aerobatics around the Space Needle to go and have a look at it.
No better with photogrammetry off. Maybe even worse, actually.
I'm not having a problem.
Restart.
My sim's really smooth. I'm not really having any issues.
I've no idea what it is. I might reboot into it. I've rebooted once already. This is awful.
Well, it's the same for me today the first time, really, to be honest. Also in VR, but
must be to do with service then.
Ever so far.
It must be the network.
Because yeah, it's silky smooth for me.
We've got no issues.
I'm going to try switching server for a minute. I know you'll disappear, but I'll try it.
I love flying low along the freeways and watching the crazy routes that cars go.
No, it's exactly the same. Okay, well I'm going to reload up, and I think I'll not load the flight plan just in case.
Falling behind the group, I need to catch up.
The guy in the Pilatus that just went past me, you still got your undercarriage down. KTCM. It says it's in a Cody. Maybe that's why. Which I haven't got, so it's not displaying as such.
Okay, so about 15 miles up to Snowhomish. Is it Whidbey Island we're doing the coffee break?
Friday Harbour.
Oh, Friday Harbour's the coffee break, okay.
That's better. It was the flight plan that was doing it.
How strange.
It was the I'm not using the little nav map. I'm using the internal one.
Yeah.
So load up again without the flight plan. Smooth as a baby's bum.
Not sure it was. I got all squirrely, and I was getting almost sick in the VR from its stutter. I switched networks, came back to this one, and it was fine. So I don't know what was wrong with me, but I think we all seem to have a short-term glitch.
I think it's to do with multiplayer aircraft most of the time when it starts crawling.
But you're going to have to arrange these flights, multiplayer flights, so we did them all on our own at different times.
Either that,
It's
or
for the best. It's for the best. You do that.
or we mandate the aeroplane and everybody has the same plane.
Yeah, we all fly a default.
And then we just post about what we saw and how good it was.
Yeah.
And 2 people have come online.
No, you'll always get somebody who will have a funky texture that they'll say, "Have you seen my texture?" And of course nobody can.
It's a bit stupid, isn't it, adding lots of textures?
Because nobody can see them apart from you.
I've got to admit, all the PMDG ones I've downloaded.
Oh, I haven't.
But only because a lot of other people do use it, you know.
I was messaging backwards and forwards with Craig, who's at VirtualFlight.Online, one of the moderators, and he'd hit, apparently there's 1,000 plug-in or 1,000 add-on limit in the sim. You know, if you include all liveries and everything like that, so it can be hit.
I haven't hit that limit.
Crikey, someone's shifting across the hilltops.
Joe in on, is he?
No, they weren't using transmitter. Right, so let's try and slow down.
I better slow down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of us all coming in at the same time. What an orderly procession. Formation landing. Look, oh, there goes one right past.
You do an orbit.
Okay, so we'll follow Bert across, I guess, to Friday Harbour. Oh no, Whidbey Island first. 315 degrees.
I'd wonder where everybody had gone. I've got that add-on that turns all the labels off. Oh, there. So they've all just appeared again. What is it? F12 turns you back on.
Well, looking back over the wing here, I've got live time, but I've got the broken cloud on. It looks like a painting behind me.
I've got live weather, it's all solid grey everywhere.
So it looks like a Lowry painting.
Yeah.
Little nav map was so cluttered, I just realised I had AI traffic on. So I turned it off. Yeah, it's a lot better.
I'm just seeing a few paintings every second with this frame rate today.
Flight sim does seem to be very fragile at the moment. I went to load it earlier on to do a flight, and even on the menu screen before I touched it, it crashed.
Yeah, I've had that.
You got too many fellas up there playing the game. That's the problem, Jonathan. I don't have any of those issues down here.
No, I think most of it.
Four of you. There's only 4 of you that live in the country, isn't there?
Oh, a few more than that.
Oh, 7 then.
It's nice.
To be honest, I think most of the instability problems are caused by the third-party aircraft. Because if I let the sim load them all, and I go on a flight, it spawns one in where somebody's obviously flying one nearby, and it invariably, something somewhere will cause it to crash. It's just
Jonathan,
potluck. Sorry, go on.
Have you got that add-on that manages all your, your add-ons?
Yeah, add-on linker, yeah.
Is it good?
It's worth doing. Because basically I use it to launch the sim now, and I basically only put the add-ons in that I'm going to be using.
I can't live without it.
That's what I use.
Yeah. It's a bit of hassle to set it up, because you have to move everything from your community folder. But once you've done it, it's easy.
Yeah. Well, I got plenty of time.
There's a video, John. There's a video. Add-on linker, because it baffles me. That's a video. Come on.
It also has
nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah, it's got a map feature as well, so you can just turn on the add-ons that you need for a region without even having to search or find.
Oh my god! And that, no, I'm definitely have to grab that, but not until John does a map.
This is this is the interesting thing, though, because I've never really bothered with extra scenery in the simulator. The only scenery I've ever bought is Biggin Hill, which was a moment of weakness when Lee was talking about it one weekend, and my local airfield at Wickham. They're the only bits of scenery I've ever bought.
Well, I get all mine
Can you
from
blame me,
Flight
John,
Sim
after
to
all
you.
the money I've spent after watching your videos?
Can you remember that weekend when we all went and bought Biggin Hill?
Yeah, I remember it.
It had just come out, hadn't it? And everyone was saying it's really good.
About the last time I flew there.
Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it?
Burning blue, and they've got something. They're like drugs, burning blue stuff.
Are they a good
When he says
scenery
he's
maker?
bought Biggin Hill, he actually means the airfield after the amount we spent on his videos. He's the royalties he's got. He's actually bought Biggin Hill. That's what he means.
I wish. It's quite funny though when you get scenery that's that accurate. When you're going down the runway and you hit that bump in the middle of the runway at Big Inn Hill, and you think, I wonder if that's real. And then you go and see a real video, and yes, there's a hump in the middle of the runway.
Yeah, I bought my 2 local ones as well. It's got to be down, isn't it?
It has.
Some of the country meshes are very good too. They're ones that I've got hold of.
I don't know if I've said anything about this on a group flight. It's quite a funny story. I mentioned it on a video. So we set up Virtual Flight and we set Booker Airfield up the road from us. My local field is the one of the training places for the airline, and I've done no end of videos there testing aeroplanes out. So we went to a party for New Year with some friends, and one of their daughters was there that we haven't seen since she was little, and obviously she's grown up now. And everybody was saying, you know, what have you been doing? She says, oh, I changed jobs this year. And I was saying, oh, what are you doing now? She said, well, for the last year, I've been running the cafe at Booker Airfield. So I'll have to take it. I'll have to get her to take some pictures in Booker, you know, in the buildings at Booker Airfield to show everybody what it looks like down there.
I'll have to go there for a coffee, John.
That's a lot of fuel to get there, though, isn't it?
Oh well, we are thinking of coming over actually.
You need to borrow that Dark Star.
He likes cold coffee anyway, don't you, Ellis?
Yeah, no, I don't actually. But when I'm flying the sim, it's sitting on the side here, and I forget about it, and I need to empty it before the next stop.
Oh, you've got to get one of those USB heaters for your coffee cup.
I used to have one of those. I got it for Christmas. It was like a stocking filler present type thing.
Did you use it? Was it any good?
No, it was rubbish. It very much depends. You need a mug that's a metal mug and has a flat bottom and it isn't bent at all, you know, to get the contact patch. Otherwise it's just rubbish.
Best present you bought me was that Henry vacuum cleaner.
What, the little tiny one?
Yeah, about 2 inches big.
Yeah.
It works though.
Oh, for hoovering the computer. Okay, so if I go to the outside view, I've got a funny feeling there's several aircraft in formation here.
Yeah, hi there.
So I restarted without the flight plan, and it's smooth as anything now.
That's weird,
photogrammetry off and then back on didn't make any difference, but deleting the flight plan seemed to work.
How strange.
They train Navy pilots out of this airport.
Whitby?
No, not this. The one ahead of us. This is Whitby Island, but this is a Naval Air Force or airport.
Okay.
And they practice at night. And I know this because they woke me up one night when I was camping just south of here at Fort Eby. They have a state campground. And God, they're loud.
Can't be as bad as living in Bryce Norton. Sound the alarms.
Yeah, that was quite bad, wasn't it?
Driving round the bloody roads with hooters going. Come on, you lazy buggers, get up.
Which runway are you all using? You're going on 32, yeah?
Yeah, easiest, isn't it?
Arnold's for free too.
And straight out for Friday Harbour. And the coffee, Ellis.
Ooh, the map's working now in the Bulldog.
We're in the virtual world, so we can do what we like. Trouble is,
I've been fly the P8s. You guys fly the P8s as well, right?
Which one's a P8?
P8 is a submarine hunter.
Oh yes, yeah, I know the ones you mean. I think we call it an Orion.
Those are P3s.
Oh, are they?
P3. Yeah.
My memory needs updating.
We've just bought the new 737 base one, whichever one that is.
The P8's the Poseidon. It's 737.
Oh, that'll be the one then.
Basically.
Yeah, that's the one we've got now. Yeah.
So I remember, it must be 30 years ago now, we had an aircraft called a Nimrod, which they upgraded at enormous expense, even though it was like 50-year-old technology.
Yeah, let's see how ugly we can make a Nimrod.
That's a real Nimrod move there.
When I was serving up in Singapore, Jonathan, they had the old Shackletons up there.
It's definitely the flight plan, everybody.
Yeah?
Yep.
That's odd, isn't it? That just something about the flight plan file then is causing trouble.
Which GPS are you using?
Both the in-house. Mine's clear now. My tablet is working with the map. It's fine now that I've not loaded, and the aircraft and the FPS are fine.
So is there any way of getting rid of the flight plan without restarting the whole thing?
No, I just had to go to the main menu, that was all, and then restart from that way.
Well, we're coming up to halfway anyway, aren't we?
Talking about break too. Yeah.
You were talking about the Nimrod a minute ago, about training for 2 years to go on that, and then them cancelling it and scrapping them all.
I mean, I was in VR, motion reprojection, I was chugging around about 18, it's now jumped back up to 45.
Perfect. Wow. Absolutely spot on.
Yep.
Oh, there's Tracker Lee on the ground here. You must have...
I also found a strange bug with the PMS 5750. I just before the flight deinstalled the working title 530-430 combination to use it. And now the PMS is still not working at all. Like the map has stopped moving. Only the symbols on the map are moving.
Oh,
it's just disabling the avionics brought back like 10-15 FPS. Very strange.
Well, Flight Sim just crashed for me. I've got to restart the thing anyway, so I'll do it without the flight plan.
Yep.
Will there be one to guide us along the way?
I know where we're going.
Very good.
Bert, you're going to get there ahead of me. Can I have cinnamon on my cappuccino, please?
Chocolate or cocoa. Baileys.
That's only for the non-traditionalist chocolate. Clit on a cappuccino. Never.
I was going to say heathens.
Heathens.
So ran upside down in that caravan.
Cinnamon only goes in apple pies.
Does anyone know what the range is for the G21, the Goose? It looks like Microsoft used the default from the Reno air race and they put it at 298 nautical miles. I don't think that's accurate.
Refuel soon.
been playing DCS too much recently. I'm busy tracking somebody here. I don't even know where I'm going.
Well, I'm trying to track both of you.
I
all
can
over the
see you.
place.
I was trying to formate on the other bulldog, but he was just too fast.
Is your stream deck going, Joe?
I haven't really played around too much with it yet. I looked at, like, you know, you can completely program it, can't you, to take over from the cockpit, but I don't really want to do that because I like to use the cockpit as the aircraft is designed, if that makes sense.
More familiar with what each control.
Yeah, otherwise you kind of lose that kind of immersion. But I showed Natalie it and her eyes nearly popped out of her head. She was like, oh my word, this is good. But she likes anything that's kind of gadgety.
I thought you were going to say you'd left the price on it.
No.
There's a lot of guys in front of me, but they're not showing in a little nav map, so they're obviously not using transmitter, Jonathan, are they?
No. No, there's not a lot of people use it. It's a shame that nothing's really happened to address that, because transmitter was written over like one weekend when the simulator first came out, and we've used it ever since, and nothing's ever happened in the sim to kind of help.
But it's very good, you know. It prompted me to get a second monitor and run a little nav map on the second monitor. It's brilliant.
Do you think it's linked to online safety concerns? Microsoft being ultra cautious?
I don't know. Either that or, I don't know, showing multiplayers is a very difficult thing to do anyway. But they've done it in the maps now inside the sim, haven't they? There's just no API for it. So if you show the VFR map, if anybody wasn't aware of this, the VFR map in the sim shows the aircraft positions.
It does. It came out as the latest update, didn't it? They changed it. Or the one before, I'm not sure. But I never use the VFR map anymore. I always use little nav map.
Yeah, because it gives you much more idea of bearings and headings and the flight map.
Definitely.
Or flight plan, I should say.
I use it for doing all my flight planning and what have you, and just export it into the sim and away you go.
It's interesting, actually. I was just talking to somebody yesterday. I may end up cancelling my Navigraph subscription. I only really signed up for it to do some review videos of what Navigraph is and, you know, what you get for your money. But I don't actually use it very much. So I may end up actually cancelling it.
I get by with ChartFox.
Yeah, and for what I do with, like, you know, just doing aeroplanes, messing around with aeroplanes and flying A to B, Little Navmap is actually far more powerful than Navigraph charts.
Yeah, Navigraph charts is serious stuff. You know, it's based on the Jeppesen kit.
Yeah, but that's all it really is.
Yeah, it's for people who want to practice seriously and you know, rehearse instrument stuff for real and all that kind of thing.
But the features Little Navmap has got around, like, fuel calculation and the elevation plot and things like that is fantastic.
It is. That elevation one's great, isn't it?
Yeah, especially if you're going like somewhere hilly. I've been doing the Andes tour just recently, and yeah, being able to see the elevation of the hills underneath your flight path is fantastic.
Well, I'm just doing the Great Britain's tour, Jonathan. I'm nearly finished it now. I've got about 3 or 4 leagues to go. But I looked at the elevation and it just told me you can, as long as you don't go below 2.5, you're not going to hit anything.
Yeah, for most of the UK, that's true.
Yeah. Not like that down here, I'm afraid.
No. New Zealand, it's like, right, get to 10,000 feet immediately.
Some places you need a little more than that.
I was going to say, the South Island is like, yeah, quite scary.
A lot of fun, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay, which way are people coming in to Friday Harbour?
Too busy talking.
Are we going wrong way?
My time of day to night time. I can see all the lights coming in. It's brilliant.
Is it runway 16 or 34? What are we agreeing on?
Oh, I just had a crash to desktop. Can you believe that?
No! You fated that one.
I changed it to night time. Boom. I'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
You were talking about weird things in VR. I was just leaning forward trying to get a good glimpse at my screens of changed plane, and I could smell something a little strange and then feel a little bit of warm air, and I'm thinking, what the hell is that? And it turns out it's my cat, and it's 2 inches in front of my face. Sitting in front of the monitor, so I've got my head about half an inch away from his face. And I'm thinking,
my wife sneaks up behind me and tweaks my ears.
Yeah, mine just shoved an apple in my mouth a minute ago.
Is there a consensus on runway?
I don't think so. I'm orbiting.
Yeah, we like them. Well, I'm in the vertigo now, so I'm going to play catch up.
I downloaded that and I couldn't get the throttle to work for some strange reason.
Oh, weird. Oh, it's fine for me. No issues at all. Fantastic little aircraft. Bit of a hooligan aircraft.
Well, I got the F-35 over Christmas and I've been having some fun with that.
Yeah, I love that. Do you get if you go into third person from look at it from outside, do you get the wobble? You get
yes. Yeah,
you do.
yeah.
You're getting that wobble. Okay, I thought they'd have fixed that by now.
I got the Harrier, but it was a bug fest, and I made a comment on their Discord that they hadn't put any control bindings in the instructions, and I got verbal abuse from the developers, so I went back to Just Flight and said, look, I'm not paying for this crap, give me a refund, and they did.
Awesome.
That's Dean, what's his name, isn't it, and his brother.
Yeah.
I made a video comparing the F-15, their F-15, to the one in DCS, and they commented repeatedly, and they didn't do themselves any favours at all. If they'd been at all professional, they would have kept their mouth shut.
Yeah, well, it was his brother basically told me to go and do one, so I did. I took my money back and bought the F-35.
Yeah.
But they've been ridiculing people
in
their Discord as well. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
They act like 14-year-olds. They probably are 14, I don't know.
Who's your developer?
DC Designs.
DC Designs. Okay, right, I shall stay away.
Just have a read on their Discord, it's disgusting. But fortunately, Just Flight are very professional, so...
How long do we have for coffee?
10 minutes.
See you then.
Oh, stop in, I've got to go around again.
Need a coffee to get the taste of the cat's breath out of my mouth.
It's a good job it's the cat's breath.
It's really weird because I had my face as close as I could get to the screen so I could read the numbers. I'm thinking, look, it smells a bit sort of meaty and warm, and what's going on?
Did anybody see on about developers not doing themselves any favours? Did anybody see the review by, is it 7.3 Driver he's called, or NG Driver? The German guy. He was looking at the E-Series planes. And he's come out basically and said they're lying, and you know that it's basically fraud. That what they're claiming they've done with the aircraft is absolutely not what he has seen in what he's reviewed or previewed. But I was quite amazed.
I'm interested now.
I was quite amazed how strongly he came out against their behaviour, because I thought he could get done for slander maybe, but
I was a bit busy landing the plane. I just wanted to add about cats. You know the guy that invented cat's eyes? If the cat had been facing the other way, he would have invented a pencil sharpener.
Yeah. Or the tea-towel holder.
If your granny had balls, she'd be your granddad.
oh, she had wheels, she'd be a bicycle.
My granny did have balls. She was a working farm hand in the war, and then worked on the docks gutting fish. She was a hard woman.
Right.
I like eating pasta all by myself, but it's kind of lonely.
Oh, God. That's a terrible one. Right, I'm going to go make a coffee. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I guess I must be last to land.
Well, didn't you were floating around a different airport though, Dave, weren't you?
Tagged along, but I've only been doing 110 knots. This last few airports are nowhere near as far. Not too bad. The right place to run out of fuel, isn't it? We know it's low.
Just wondering about changing aeroplanes for the second half.
No, if you stay in the Twin Otter, you won't be out of place around here. Oh, there's regular traffic from Vancouver to Victoria across the straits we're about to go in. I got to work that way a lot.
to stay in the Twin Otter. It's easy to fly. Right, it's the left engine. Sorry, right engine. And the left engine. Okay, so I have somebody in the Livestream chat asking about setting up a microphone in Discord, so I'm just about to show them that. So, open Discord, and in the cog menu in Discord is the settings for it. So the cog is at the bottom left, underneath the left hand margin. It's user settings, and in there's voice and video halfway down. At the top you can choose the device for your input device. So you can see mine's set to my USB microphone. And your output device obviously is your speakers. And then you can choose voice activity or push to talk. Because I'm an admin, I can use voice activity. In the events channel it's restricted, so everybody has to use push to talk. So if you do that, it requests you press a button. But you can do a microphone check in there. If you do get problems with the sound volume not being loud enough, perhaps it's probably going to be down to Windows Sound. If you have Windows 11, you right click on the microphone, go to sound settings, and you'll see the input devices, and you'll see the master volume of your input devices. So you can turn up microphone volumes, for example. If it's a specific device, you can click on the device itself, and you can see the level for that device, which may have been changed. If you got Windows 10, good luck, because it wasn't quite as good as Windows 11 at that.
It might be worth mentioning that each individual in Discord, you can alter their volume.
Yeah, you can change the output volume of each person that's talking. So if you're hearing somebody in there very loud, you can just right click on them and modify their volume. So the real problem that seems to happen is different pieces of software might manipulate the output volume of the microphone without you knowing. So obviously I'm usually quite aware of it, because I'm looking at, when I start a stream up, I'll be looking in OBS at my output volume. So I'm always aware of my own volume, but yeah, unless you're used to looking at that, you wouldn't think to even check. They have improved Windows 11 no end though. In the sound settings now, you can actually see a live overlay of your volume as you speak, which is quite useful. Okay. Engine is running. Hammered in for fuel. Can anybody remember where the fuel gauges are in the Twin Otter? Fuel quantity, there we go. Lots. So yeah, anybody that's looking in on YouTube, these flights we do them most weekends, Sunday evening, GMT. Anyone's free to join them. All you have to do is go and join on the Discord server if you want to be in on the voice chat and say hello to everybody. So if you've been busy flying a simulator around on your own, then this is a really good opportunity to talk to some other people who fly simulators, and it's a really good way of finding out how to do things usually as well. So obviously all of us are better at it than any one of us.
Well, I would say that I'm better than most. And I'm modest.
It's really invaluable actually, because obviously you've heard a few of us on the flight are real pilots. Obviously I'm not, but some of the people on here are real pilots, so it's really good to be able to ask them questions from time to time about, like in the real world, how does this or that happen? And they're usually quite happy to wade in if they do know. course, it can turn into a comedy question and answer session, a bit like Hot Fuzz or something like that, where it's like, did you know, or is it true that?
Right, and take off.
Yeah, I'm just taxiing down. There's quite a few planes in. Of course, because I've got rid of all the models, I'm seeing the same models for everybody. Whereas in the past, I've had all of the aircraft installed and I've seen everything. I have a levitating Baron in front of me by the look of it.
A few people are flying the RVs, you know, the vans.
Yeah, they're brilliant. The visibility out of them is fantastic, isn't it?
Tell you what, we had an open day at the local area club the other day, Jonathan, and guess what appeared there in an immaculate condition, and they'd take you for a ride in Stearman.
Oh my word, really?
In an immaculate condition too. The warbirds down here have got one, and you could go for a flight in it, $450 for half an hour. Said, thank you, but no thank you.
You see, yeah, I've got one I can use for free.
Yeah, that's right.
And I can walk away from every crash.
That's right. I haven't got it, but I might get it actually.
There was a guy on the Microsoft stream on Friday in the States. He'd had an hour's flight in a Spitfire and it cost him $5,000 US.
Oh my word.
I saw somebody did a breakdown on why it costs so much to go for a ride in a Spitfire.
Servicing a Merlin engine.
That's right.
Yeah. They've
got to have a spare engine and overhaul it every 500 hours apparently.
Yeah.
He said it was the best 5,000 he ever spent.
Well, it's over 1,000 horsepower, isn't it? And it was experimental in its day.
Cheaper, lot cheaper in the sim, fellas, if you can handle it. It's very good.
I think
the flying iron ones isn't very nice.
Yeah, I think the most accurate Spitfire I've seen in any sim is the one in DCS. Trouble is, it takes ages to learn to last more than 10 minutes without setting the engine on fire.
Is that right?
Or even beyond that, once you do get in the air, keeping the aeroplane pointing the direction you're going. It is not a stable aeroplane. Which of course, if you are trained and skilled, you can use to your advantage.
I play with it a little bit and I just come away thinking, how the hell did those young fellas fly those things the way they did?
Yeah.
The poor buggers learn quick, man. I suppose you learn quick when the consequences are when they were what they were.
Exactly.
Man, that's balls. I don't know. Don't know how they did it.
I asked the question: how many young pilots did they lose learning to fly the bloody thing?
Yeah.
Quite a few, as far as I know.
Yeah, I believe so.
My grandmother was in the transport division, transport corps. She flew them down from to Hendon, I think. She was based in Hendon and Poddington at Centre Pod, so she flew them down. But, she did say there were a lot of training crashes and transport crashes.
I remember my granddad, he was in the 8th Army, but obviously they had Spitfires and Hurricanes and stuff out in Africa for reconnaissance and all sorts of things. And he told a story about seeing an engineer walk out to a Spitfire and talk to the pilot. And he said it was pulling left or right or whatever he'd said. And he took a hammer to the ailerons.
All fixed.
Yeah, he literally belted the airframe a few times in a few key places, and then he did another circuit with it and came back and said it was fine. But you can imagine that. It's funny, you even on the modern aircraft, you hear like CW Lemoyne and people like that talking about the modern fighter jets and about them getting bent when they've been overstressed.
About a hammer, that's a Brummie screwdriver, isn't it?
So they carry across to the car trade and then things like Morris, you know, and people just smashing stuff with hammers if they don't fit.
Yeah.
And there's the British start of the British car empire.
I know the Renault, what's the little silly one, the farmers one?
The 4?
Well, 2CV.
2CV, that's the one. That's put together with hammers, isn't it? Just a lot of the panels won't fit. Or didn't fit.
Well, it's hand-built versus robots, isn't it?
When I was 19, I bought a Lada from a car auction, and it was the cheapest car there, and I think it was 75 quid, and it wouldn't go into reverse, so we couldn't actually get it out of the parking space. We ended up taking the bonnet off and smashing the gear selector with a great big lump hammer to try and get it into reverse. And then one of the windows fell, 2 of the windows fell out, side windows fell out on the journey home, and then we got stopped by the coppers and said, it's not roadworthy, and they seized it. So I owned the Lada for about an hour and a quarter. They seized it and they wanted about 400 quid to get it back, and I said, no, I'll surrender it.
Those old Eastern European cars from the early 80s had a hell of a reputation, didn't they?
Oh my god, and deservedly so. They were absolute crap.
I lived in Holland.
Skoda was one of them, eh?
Skoda was the good one. Lada and
the Trabant.
Some of those early Skodas.
The Skodas were bad though.
Well, Skoda got bought by Volkswagen, and then they used the bits off all their old models to upgrade them, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, the modern day Skoda is quite a vehicle.
Oh yeah,
awesome vehicle.
It's a Volkswagen, I guess, with a different brand name stuck on the front of it, isn't it?
Yeah, the police use them as undercover cars still.
Our police are using them out here too now.
The Octavias, the powerful, the 2.5 litre ones, yeah, you see them.
Right, is everybody in the air?
There's a lot in front of me, Jonathan.
Oh yeah.
I'm in Canada already.
Yeah, I've got about a mile and a half to go.
Okay. I'll push the
I'm about to go across the border, fellas. Get your passport out.
Pushing the throttle.
Welcome to Canada.
So, what is it? 298 degrees.
Yep.
There's me busy circling the airfield, chattering away, not even realising.
46 nautical miles. Well, I nearly missed the coffee break. I flew straight over the top of the airfield, kept going. You've got to concentrate on what you're doing, you know.
I'm back with you now.
Cool.
Anyone got that Marinas add-on on Flight Tier?
The Seaports one?
No, it populates marinas. It's very good.
Oh, there's all kinds around here. They call these the Gulf Islands.
I think he means the one from Mamu Design.
It's a lovely area. There's only one problem with it.
Yes, that's
the
the one,
water's
yeah.
too cold.
No, it actually warms up because this is actually a rain shadow from the Olympic Mountains off to our west. So this area doesn't get a lot of rain and it gets a lot of sun.
Okay.
So it warms up from freezing to 2 degrees, yeah?
Well, the ocean water, yes, the ocean water is still cold, but in some of the bays, it does warm up.
I bet the fish are tasty. I bet the fish are fresh and tasty.
Oh yeah, lots of crabs.
Oh.
Lots of salmon. Lots of rockfish, bass.
We got a good haul the other day out off the beach. Didn't go far at all.
I've tried Nova Scotia lobster a few years ago, and it was absolutely unbelievable.
See, a lot of people retire to this area.
I can understand why. Beautiful.
Yeah, but ferry and seaplane access only.
Plane with no drawbacks.
I have a buddy building a house just off to the right on Saturna, and I'll tell him that. He was starting to worry about the ferries.
Yeah, if your neighbour can send a light aircraft over to you, he's too close. I quite fancy that. Well, life could have been very different 25 years ago. I'd had the chance to... Well, I did move to Canada for a little while, but I had the chance to stay and move up further north to work on the engineering side of the rigs, but I was too young and too scared. 24, 21, 22 years old, and get that offer to work on the engineering side. I was just like my home comforts, but I should have taken it up.
Yeah, I worked in Sydney for 9 months many years ago, and I wish I'd stayed there.
Sydney on the island?
Australia, Sydney, Australia.
Oh, that's it. Oh, that down there.
I think the only place internationally that I've stayed anywhere was with work, and a couple of years ago, or more than a couple of years ago now, before the pandemic, I worked in Germany for 2 years, and in Frankfurt, and that was amazing, because I'd never been there before. So I didn't know what to expect of, what just general life was like in Germany, but I really loved it.
I'd like to see that. I think Germany would be awesome. Germany and Singapore for me, I think.
Yeah, I have two friends who are nurses. They came from Germany to work in England, and they're Romanian originally, but they said Germany is an absolutely amazing place to live.
Yeah,
it's fantastic to live there.
I moved over here to Germany 20 years ago for what I thought was 2 years, and still here now.
It's funny how life works out like that, isn't it?
Can I ask if it was a woman?
No, it was a bitch. It was work. No, I can't complain. It's all right. Just about 100 yards away from the Swiss border, down and right at the bottom end. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. All right.
Back to the UK next week for a good portion of fish and chips, though.
Oh, I hope you brought your savings with you. You're looking at about between £12 and £14 for a decent fish and chips now. Maybe £12.
Ouch. Okay, well, it'll be worth it one time in a year.
Piece of cod's the best part of £7. Chips £3.50.
We're seeing the same inflation.
Sorry, what was that?
Still a lot of Go ahead.
Sorry. I was saying it's about £8 in East Yorkshire.
We're having a lot of inflation here too. We're seeing the same thing.
It's everywhere, guys, even way down here, down under, it's gone nuts.
The States are having it hard as well. I've been seeing about the food prices in the States. It's even worse.
I think it's profiteering, in my opinion.
Dave, did you just crash into that hillside?
Yeah, I wasn't looking where I was going.
Oh, if only there was like mushroom clouds, it'd be great, wouldn't it?
More
walked out in
pylons
front of him.
collected.
Just thought I better have a look at the elevation profile, seeing what's coming up, and thought I better put a few 100 feet on here.
I think you were right. I think he actually spotted a pylon and became transfixed by it.
No, I was totally ignoring the sim. I was looking at that.
He was looking at pictures.
Yeah,
I will say no more about that.
Don't move, Dave. It's a beacon. It's absolutely perfect.
817 feet is the ground.
My favourite key, the Y key.
Oh dear. I really do need to get those t-shirts made, don't I? I'll have to get a move on with that. Yeah. Perhaps we should have a competition for things to put on the t-shirts.
I think we should all have bingo cards during these flights.
Pylon hunter.
Only at 600 feet.
Have a little call at the beginning of the evening.
So, I loved the things that Emmanuel did with, like, I think it's the Twin Otter has got the wooden crates in the back with the pylon kits in them.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, he's got wooden crates in any of the cargo aircraft where he's done the liveries for us, and stamped on the wooden crates is like experimental pylon from D. Beckett Industries.
Gonna say, did the manifest have Dave's name on it?
Hey, something I saw in the news today that the guys in the US might know about. Have you seen about these radio masts that they keep discovering in the national parks?
Yeah, and what is that about?
It's that they are mobile computers. They are using solar power, and they are mining Bitcoin. But they're setting them up in the middle of nowhere, like a grid. And as fast as they're putting them out, the park rangers are going and pulling them back out again.
Does that make sense, though?
Not to me, but then I'm not invested in Bitcoin at all. I think it's the biggest scam in the universe. But
how's that working? Are they data aerials?
There's
It's the aliens, guys. It's the aliens.
It's a briefcase size unit, basically, or sorry, suitcase size unit that's got the hardware inside it for the computer. It's got a huge solar panel and a mast, obviously, to receive and send data packets. So they're doing like a distributed processing facility somehow.
Oh, like a yeah.
It's scanning everybody that uses Facebook.
It doesn't make economic sense to me.
It doesn't to me either.
Doesn't make physical sense to me either.
Maybe it's something else then.
Yeah, it was just a suggestion I saw on one of the news stories that they might be. Apparently, there was a Bitcoin thing that Matt Damon advertised during the Super Bowl, and they said it may be connected to that. But I don't know. I'm not going to speculate.
Well, I'm sure they'll find out what it is because they'll pull it apart.
Yeah. That was the funny thing, because the journalist asked the park rangers, did they, open it up and see what was inside the processing unit, and they said, no, we're park rangers. We're not IT engineers. All we want is it off of our hill.
It's not a picnic basket, we're not touching it.
Yeah.
That's a different department.
Yeah. It's above my pay grade.
You'd be a little bit curious, though.
Yeah, I mean, if they were clued up, they'd probably rip it open and sell all the graphics cards that are inside it. No, it must. I don't know if it is Bitcoin mining. It's just really odd that somebody is setting up masts with a computer at the base and solar panels.
It's a network.
It's the aliens.
Well, yeah, is it like an off-the-grid network? It's
probably
because they've all got an aerial on them. All of these masts that they're putting up.
So that must be for data connection.
I don't know. I don't know what sort of aerial it is.
I don't know if it's data to a network or data to each other. Oh, that's crazy.
But yeah, in the article I read, they were saying that the weight of the kit and some of the out-of-the-way places, like the top of mountains that they're putting them, they said it would take at least 2 people a good day's hike to get it there.
What? Why?
Helicopter.
Why put them in a remote place? I don't get it.
So you can put it there. I don't know.
They want a network up there.
Are they relaying? Somebody
don't know.
usually needs to relay.
We'll all have to go and read the news stories and see what we can figure out, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Just out of interest, there's people's frame rates now.
Good.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
After
mine's gone up
restart.
into the 30s. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, for the me it was a flight plan.
I've got a bulldog right behind me. He's doing some quite impressive formation flying.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could play bingo at the same time.
Stick with me, the landing could be interesting.
Especially if you see a pylon.
That's what Dave was doing on the side of that hill, wasn't it?
Word.
Planting little picnic baskets.
It was funny the other day when I did the part of the Andes tour of the virtual airline and realised after the fact that it crossed over where the Nazca lines are. And I went looking around there and started reading up on it, and there's so many crackpots that think that they still think they are runways.
Oh, intergalactic runways.
Well, yeah.
So did you land there?
What, on one of the runways?
Why not?
Surely you'd have to use Dark Star though and come in from a interplanetary approach.
No, because he didn't fancy the probing from ATC.
You held a finger up as you said that, didn't you?
We all know we're going to get probed. We're going to get probed. It's going to happen.
What was it called, that movie? Paul. Have you seen Paul?
Yep.
It's brilliant, isn't
many
it?
times.
It just has a shot at absolutely everybody. I was saying to my other half, it's one of those movies you could sit and watch with friends and just have a drinking competition with spotting the references to other movies.
What's the movie?
Paul. It was made by, oh crikey, what's his name? He was in Shaun of the Dead and...
Simon Pegg and I can't remember the other one, yeah.
Nick Frost.
That's it. But yeah, they go on holiday to Area 51 because they're both super nerds. And they nearly run over a little grey man. I love the bit where he resurrects the bird they've just hit with the car. And then it eats it. And they said, what did you do that for? Well, I wasn't going to eat it dead, was I?
And Kristen Wiig is the Tourette's.
She's brilliant.
She steals that film. She really
She
does.
does.
Excellent.
Okay, so just approaching Nanaimo.
What are we doing this,
Nanaimo.
guys? What are we coming in from?
The south.
180? We're coming in from the south?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll do. Unless
Okay.
anyone's got real weather.
You should be using runway 16.
Really?
Is that the north?
Yep, it's coming in from left-hand circuit and from the other side.
Okay.
I'm doing right hand and doing an ILS just to keep my hand in.
Oh, there's a little Aztec runway on the left over there, look. On a little... Looks like a little quarry, or a big quarry over there on the right.
Is that what we're calling them now? Aztec runways?
Little Aztec runway.
Any straight line feature in the ground?
It's awesome. It's big enough. I'm on it. Oh, it is a quarry that someone's turned into an enduro motocross circuit. Because I can see someone's done that. Yeah, it's a motorbike quarry circuit
type thing.
I can see. I can see it. I mean, I spent a lot of years over 2 or 3 of them, and I can tell when the terrain's been changed by bikes. That one has.
I remember you telling the story one evening that in the was it in the photogrammetry or Google satellite that you were in it?
Oh yeah, the closest track to me is a track in Northall, Potter's Bar. It's about 10 minutes away, and it's got the complete outline of the track if you fly over it in the photogrammetry, and you can see still images of motorcycles going around the track, as you do occasionally with cars and objects. When the satellite's gone over, you can see all the parked vehicles, and there's about 40 or 50. You can see all the awnings and the bikes by the side of them, and you can see my big orange bike and a little orange and yellow shape down by the side of it, which is me taking photographs. It's really weird. Yeah, so it's for posterity forever, which is a shame because we've lost the track now, but it's still there. Yeah, 'cause I can stamp down what time of day and what year and day that was when the satellite went over. But middle of the afternoon on a Sunday in July. Right, let's come in.
Okay. Final leg. Is it final? Oh no, it's 2 legs to go. Vancouver International.
Oh, here he comes. Dave's changed. Dave's gone hooligan.
What's he got?
A320.
Oh, crikey.
Well, I was quite fed up of being nasty behind.
I think I can keep up with him. I think I've got 350 knots in this. Let's have a go. Let's see if I can keep up with you. Well, that thing's turning tight. Wow.
Like a Spitfire.
Oh my god. It's tight. It's got a tighter turning than the Vertigo.
I've seen it go past.
What? Are you sure that's an A320?
No, it isn't.
A310 it says, isn't it? Is that a Fairchild?
Where's it?
A310.
That's what it shows for me too.
Oh, it might be. I didn't take much notice. I just put something big on.
Is that the one that's flying across the water right now?
Yeah.
Oh my word.
He's doing about 500 and nearly 600 knots and pulling 8G turns quicker than the Vertigo. He just outturned me by a factor of about 4.
Alien.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's because we were talking about those masts.
He's been probed, hasn't he?
He's
when
going
he
into the
landed?
floor.
Oh, is he going to get out of that one? Oh,
No.
no, he's down. Oh, he's under.
That was 18 feet.
I'd like to apologise to the bulldog following me. My flaps didn't work.
I wondered what you were doing.
Everyone respawning now just to have a little bit of fun the last couple of legs.
Everyone's going for the fighter
Going
jets.
on all over the place here. Strange things happening in this aircraft. It's as aliens.
This Airbus takes off well off water.
I didn't know they made a float version.
This one is. It just took off again. British Airways. I don't know how I'm going to get on at the last airport because it's tiny.
Just coming upside down, it'll slow you down.
Coming vertical.
Can you imagine the controllers at Vancouver seeing us lot coming towards them?
It's a busy airport for sure.
It's about to become much busier.
I'm doing an ILS approach and I just turned on live weather and I can't see the airfield. Oh, I can just see the approach lights now.
Show off.
Well, I've been impressed by the scenery.
It's a beautiful area.
When the weather's nice, it'd be brilliant.
Oh, the summer is when the good weather comes.
That's usually the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not working for us down here this year.
I saw that.
We're going to get slammed in the next 48 hours.
Actually, so are we. There's supposed to be a storm coming up from the south. The same thing that's hitting California is about to smack into right here. That's why you're seeing that's why live weather won't work today.
Well, I'm on the glide slope, but I can just see the runway now. It's raining and it's gusty and it's not nice.
Off to our left is the North Shore Mountains. If you squint, you can see me waving.
Brilliant.
Ah, that's where I am.
Like in little suitcases.
Yeah.
Runway direction, 83 degrees. I'm going to turn the ILS on and have a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'm just going down the ILS now.
Uh, 109.5 for 20. No, for was it 08 right? Right, pretty much on the glide slope.
They got this water texture really off to a T with the sort of calm spots and the rough spots of the wind.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Oh, bloody hell, my wheels won't come down.
You're in trouble, Dave.
Oh, they are. It's just that I was going too fast.
What, Mach 1.5? Yeah, you only really panic when you put the wheels down and they rip off. I've done that in DCS before.
So the Bulldog's got a nice little label on it saying no smoking during takeoff, landing or aerobatics.
But all other times it's fine.
They just don't want you to be distracted.
My master's going to have to go in for some sort of service here. It's avionics a shot, I think.
Well, I found the runway. It's got two little trees at the start of it.
Well, they've all got those.
Lovely runway. It's one of those Aztec runways again. With a house at the end. That'll do.
You know, those Aztec runways, all they really prove is that my dad was a time traveller and he went and put his A320 into the dirt at speed.
And so it was written in history.
Yep. And he had damage switched off. Which is why they've never found an A320 at the end of one of the gauges.
I'm just going to drive to the airport.
Right.
No, I'm not. It's a great big hill just appeared in front of me. Damn scenery popping up.
Hello.
Hello.
Anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Ooh. Low bandwidth. Is everybody coming on right?
That's where I am.
I just came in on the ILS just for a laugh. Oh, I just got to get and answer the door. Hang on.
Did you put the weather on live, Jonathan?
Hang on a second. I'll be back in a moment.
That's the NSA at his door. They're going to arrest him because he was talking about secret stuff. Either that or it's those... Well, those DC developers at your door. Oi, I heard you on Discord. Shut it.
I just can't... I mean, we may joke about it, but can you imagine just damaging your business in that way on purpose? It's just crazy, really. You're all very... So go on.
The thing is, they've got a fan base which are probably about 14, 15, 16-year-olds, and they absolutely just lap it up.
Yeah.
But I'll never purchase another one of their products for sure.
I think the only reason they got angry with me was because I was comparing... I wasn't comparing apples with apples. Because obviously the aircraft in DCS are a different matter entirely compared to Flight Sim, but that said, the F-15 they make and the F-15 in DCS, the F-15 in DCS is not realistic. It's the same, you know, it's pitched at the same level as the one in Flight Sim, but it's accurate. Well, it's more accurate, I should say.
Someone parked their aircraft on top of the hangar. DC-3 flyer, are you on top of that aircraft thing? You are. Someone's got their aircraft on top of the hangar down there. Oh, it disappeared.
Got a little party going on back at the previous airport. Little Matt is showing 3 guys over there still hanging around.
Yeah, they've been there all the time, I think.
Maybe they're not with us. Jonathan, I asked the question before, did you have live weather on when you did your ILS approach?
No.
Well, I have. I can't see a damn thing.
But until I got down to 500 feet, I just zoomed the screen into my instruments just to see, you know, keeping a bit of practice up then.
I'm going to go look out the window and see what it's really like.
So it's 70 degrees over to the final airfield.
Welcome to Vancouver.
It's not that bad.
I've been to Vancouver. I got mugged.
Is that their slogan? Welcome to Vancouver. It's not that bad.
I
Yeah,
like
that's
Vancouver.
that's
So
all
we
it
do
works.
here.
I've been to Vancouver, guys. Nice place.
Not for me, it wasn't.
They compare my hometown to Vancouver a lot. They reckon they're very similar, and they are.
Probably
in a
is
lot of
nice.
ways.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I've got the Greyhound over from Calgary over to Vancouver to fly back home.
I've just turned the live weather on. It's quite misty.
Beautiful trip across. Banff, Jasper, all those ways across from Calgary. Stunning.
I travelled all that as a backpacker many years ago.
Summer or winter?
It was spring.
Okay, because it starts at the Canadian winter's sort of starting about the 7th of October, don't they?
Usually the beginning of June. Well, it depends where. Out here it starts quite late. In fact, there's no snow on the ground here, and maybe 2 weeks a year, 3, we'll get snow. Like on the ground, but up in the mountains we're skiing and snowboarding.
Picked up the glide slope, fellas. Can't see a thing.
I ended up in Nielsen is it the Valhalla Mountains, working on a farm there.
Oh, Nelson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in the interior. That's nice.
Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah, beautiful. I met some people in Nepal and a couple, and they invited me to come and stay with them if I ever arrived in Canada. So I did.
For a while, it was the pot capital of BC.
Right.
Amazing how many people are into cooking.
Well, it's legal here now.
Cooking's been legal here for ages.
Not my wife's.
Legal but not safe.
I love it when the photogrammetry doesn't quite work and it looks like some post-apocalyptic Planet of the Apes type scene.
Actually, the Canada release was really not that good for Vancouver.
I think Jorg even admitted that, didn't he, on one of the live streams?
Yeah, Vancouver looks all melted.
Just picking up the approach lights now, guys. And I'm not that far out, so it's pretty pea-soupy down there.
It's raining on the ground.
Getting worse.
Yeah, I'm going to put my weather back to something nice so we can actually see some scenery on the way in.
I'm still coming into Vancouver. I can see the runway just.
I really like the Just Flight Arrow.
Yeah, it's good.
The Corando got a sale on at the moment in the marketplace, so good time to pick up some aircraft, guys. If you'd waited, Jonathan, you could have got them cheaper.
Well, they actually gave me a couple of their airplanes to do reviews of ages ago.
Oh, very good.
So they were one of the few developers that were really kind of proactive and said, yeah, of course, you can have whatever you want. But I didn't want to abuse the privilege then, if that was the way to put it. Because again, I kind of believe in supporting the developers, so I'd like to pay my way kind of thing.
Idea. wouldn't have it if it wasn't for all those guys.
Two Corendo airplanes don't work for me.
Yeah, they're not the most accurate of aeroplanes, it has to be said.
Has anybody got the new Wilco, that little Polish stall plane?
The Vilga.
What's it like?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like somebody had 2 shed kits and an old tractor and thought, I'm going to make an aeroplane out of this.
How does it fly?
Like 2 sheds and a tractor. No, it's brilliant. It's really good.
It does feel like it's got some weight to it in the VR as well.
Yeah.
It just feels like an aircraft, not like a. It feels different, but it feels good.
The developers apparently worked very closely with the owner of one. So the scenery you get with it is the real place where they modelled the real aeroplane that they copied.
And how does it fly? Like it's like a fox or?
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of in between that and something a little bit bigger.
Feels a bit more weightier.
Yeah.
But also more realistic.
There's all sorts of ways, if you have it turned on realistic, that you can damage the engine.
Oh yes.
Which
it overheats nicely, doesn't it?
Mm. It makes you appreciate that how much more difficult the real world is than a simulator.
Speaking of which, hold on to your hats, I'm coming in flapless.
I bounced, it came in upside down.
I'm in the area. Are the brakes actually this bad in real life?
Quite possibly.
You don't have to worry about brakes.
No, just look for a pylon.
No, just I'd come in with the gear up and literally crash land, and then use Y to go get the right way up.
Guys, if you look at my stream, I've gone up in the drone. You see it's all coming in.
Too many parking lots available.
I think I got the biggest plane.
Right, who's going to put the spruce goose on the river?
I've only flown that once.
I think most people have.
Took off, did a circuit and landed. That was it.
Did a group flight last night when they did it around Idaho and then into New Mexico, and that was painful. Right, I think I might just hit the ground at Mark 3.
Must be close on 30 labels I can count.
Maybe I'll go into I'll overfly the wrong way, go around again then.
This is Pilot Emily's territory, isn't it?
I don't know.
She was one of the grounded
And I'm down.
Q300 pilots that were grounded through COVID, I think, and she did a lot of videos on YouTube.
Dave, you've got a truck propping up your right starboard engine. Either that, have you managed to scoop him up on the way? Oh, he's got his ladder stuck in the front of your engine.
So does Discord remember settings for the next flight?
Yep.
In the events channel.
Yeah, so any of your audio settings you've set, it should remember. He flaps up.
Thank you.
I'm seeing an A380 instead of a 310. That's so bizarre. Or was it a 320 he was in?
Can you see the truck? Oh, he's gone now. See the truck wraps up on his front engine.
Oh, it's dissolved because I'm too close. There it is.
I'm going to say good night here, gentlemen. See you all next week, I
Cool.
hope.
See you soon.
See you, buddy.
Good night.
Me too. Good night.
See you soon.
Good night, guys.
I'm gonna
Good
pull.
morning from me.
Really nice route again. Thank you.
See you soon.
I'll say night night. Well, I'm gonna pull the plug. So night night, everyone.
Thank you, Dave. That was a great route.
Right,
Thanks for hosting.
Say good night as well. Cheers, guys. Thanks for a good one. See you
See
next
you
week.
soon.
Cheers.
Cheers, John.
Thanks,
Take
Paul.
care,
See
everyone.
you
Have a
next
good week.
Yep, I'm going to see everyone. Bye. Thanks, great route as well.
Oh, right, I'll end the live stream there, I guess.
Good night, John.
See you soon.